Look at your hands for a moment. Right now, as you listen to this, you are likely holding or sitting very near the exact instrument you use to silently drain the life out of yourself every single day. The glowing screen, the endless scroll, the constant connection to a world that never sleeps. But the problem is not just the phone. It is not the technology. The problem is what you are doing with your mind while you use it. You have been lied to about what it means to raise your vibration. Somewhere along the line over the last few years, we were sold a very specific, very profitable idea of what a high-frequency life looks like. We were told that a high vibration means forced smiles. We were told it means buying the right crystals, burning the right incense, cutting out everyone who slightly annoys you, and aggressively chanting positive affirmations in the mirror every morning, even when your heart feels like it is breaking. It sounds exhausting, doesn't it? That is because it is. This popular, modern version of good vibes only is actually a trap. It is an aesthetic, not a psychological reality. In fact, if you are waking up feeling constantly tired, emotionally drained, or stuck in a relentless loop of low-level anxiety, it is very likely because you are doing the exact things society told you would bring you peace. I want to share a secret with you today. It is something that deep-thinking psychologists and ancient philosophers have known for centuries, long before the internet existed. There is a hidden leak in your energy. It is a specific habit, a way of living, that you might be doing right now. You think this habit is protecting you, but it is actually the very thing keeping you deeply stuck. We will get to that hidden leak toward the end of our time together, but first, we have to look at the foundation. We have to look at the lie you are probably telling yourself the moment your feet touch the floor every morning. You have to stop trying to amputate your dark side. This is, without a doubt, the most common mistake kind, well-meaning people make when they try to better themselves. You experience a perfectly normal human emotion. You feel sad, or you feel a flash of intense anger, or maybe you feel deep jealousy when you see a friend succeed, and instantly, almost violently, a voice in your head jumps in. It says, "Stop it. Be positive. Think high-vibe thoughts. If you think bad thoughts, you will attract bad things." So, you swallow the anger. You hide the sadness. You push the jealousy down into the pit of your stomach, and you put on a mask for the world. The famous Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung spent his life studying this phenomenon. He called this hidden, rejected part of ourselves the shadow. Your shadow holds all the parts of you that you think are unacceptable to society. It holds your rage, your greed, your sadness, your petty grievances. But here is the simple, undeniable truth about human energy. It cannot be destroyed. When you push down a negative emotion, it does not disappear. It does not evaporate into thin air just because you forced yourself to smile. Imagine you are standing waist-deep in a swimming pool and you are holding a large, fully inflated beach ball. Now, try to push that beach ball completely underwater. What happens? It takes a massive, continuous amount of physical effort. Your arms shake, your shoulders ache, and you cannot look at anything else. You have to focus entirely on keeping that ball submerged. The moment you get tired, the moment you lose focus or turn your head, that ball blasts back up and hits you right in the face, splashing water everywhere. This is exactly why you feel so drained at the end of the day. You are using all of your psychological life force, all of your daily mental energy, just to keep your sadness or your anger underwater so you can appear positive to the world. You are entirely exhausted from fighting yourself. A truly high vibration does not come from ignoring your darkness. It comes from accepting it. The next time you feel a wave of jealousy or anger, I want you to try something radical. Do nothing. Do not fight it. Do not try to instantly replace it with gratitude. Just sit there and say to yourself, I am incredibly angry right now. I feel petty and I feel jealous, and that is entirely okay. I am human. When you finally admit this, you stop fighting the water. You let the beach ball float to the surface. It just bobs there, harmlessly, and suddenly the massive amount of energy you were using to hold it down is returned to you. You feel physically lighter, not because you forced a positive thought, but because you stopped pretending. You became whole. And while we are talking about the things that steal your energy, we have to talk about the absolute biggest thief of all. It is a habit so common we barely notice we're doing it. You must stop outsourcing your emotional baseline to things completely outside of your control. Think back to a time recently when someone wronged you. Maybe a coworker threw you under the bus in a meeting, or a partner betrayed your trust, or a family member made a deeply unfair comment to you. Think about what happened in the days and weeks that followed. You probably spent hours in the shower having imaginary arguments with them. You laid in bed at night, replaying the scenario in your head, waiting for them to realize what they did. You waited for them to apologize. You waited for karma to catch up to them. You waited for the universe to step in and make it fair. Take a very close look at what you are actually doing in these moments. You are reaching into your own chest, taking out the remote control to your nervous system, handing it to the very person who hurt you, and saying, "Here, you are in charge of my mood today. Until you apologize to me, I absolutely refuse to be happy." The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius understood the madness of this. Here was a man who was the emperor of Rome, with the weight of the entire known world on his shoulders. He faced plagues, wars, and constant betrayal. His own general, a man he trusted, tried to steal his throne. Yet his private journals, which we now read today, are filled with reminders to himself not to be dragged down by the cruelty of others. He realized a fundamental truth of the human condition. People will be selfish, they will be unfair, and they will be cruel. If your inner peace requires the world to be perfectly fair and everyone to treat you perfectly, you will be miserable for the rest of your life. To raise your vibration, you have to take the remote control back. You have to realize that closure is not a gift that someone else gives to you. It is a choice you make for yourself. You have to look at the unfairness and say, "They acted poorly, but I refuse to let their poor character dictate my inner peace." When you stop demanding that the world rewrite its past to make you feel comfortable, an incredible, almost magical shift happens. You suddenly become immune to other people's chaos. You develop a psychological shield. They can act poorly, they can gossip, they can throw tantrums, and you can simply observe it, almost like watching a bird fly by your window without letting it crash into your soul. You are no longer a victim of their behavior. But there is a modern twist to this chaos. It is a trap that you are very likely participating in on a daily basis, without even realizing it is poisoning you. Take a deep breath, clear your mind, and think about how you naturally try to connect with the people around you. You need to stop consuming outrage as a form of connection. As human beings, we are biologically wired to belong to a tribe. It is in our DNA. Thousands of years ago, if you were cast out of your tribe, you would be left alone in the wilderness, and you would not survive the winter. So, our brains intensely crave connection. We need to feel like we belong. But today, in our modern, hyper-connected world, we have discovered a very cheap, very toxic, and very easy shortcut to feeling connected. Shared hatred. Think about your daily life. It is so easy to bond with a coworker by gossiping in the break room about how terrible the manager is. It feels so natural to open social media and instantly join a mob of angry people in the comment section, complaining about a news story, a politician, or a celebrity who made a mistake. Psychological research shows us exactly why we do this. When we engage in shared outrage, when we point at someone else and say, "They are wrong and we are right," our brain releases a quick, powerful hit of dopamine. It feels good. It feels like we are part of a team standing shoulder to shoulder, fighting a common enemy. But I need you to understand that this is junk food for your soul. It mimics real connection, but it contains zero nutritional value. In fact, it leaves you totally isolated, anxious, and hypervigilant. When your main method of connecting with the world is through complaining and criticizing, your brain literally rewires itself. You train your reticular activating system, the filter in your brain, to constantly scan your environment for things to be angry about. You are practically begging your mind to seek out the absolute worst in life. And whatever you look for, you will find. If you truly want to shift your energy, you have to endure the temporary, awkward discomfort of letting go of these toxic bonds. The next time someone comes up to you and tries to pull you into a gossip session, or sends you a link to an article just to make you angry, I challenge you to stay completely neutral. Do not feed the fire. You can simply say, "I haven't really thought much about that," or just let the silence sit there. It will feel very uncomfortable at first, because you are breaking an unwritten social script. The other person might even walk away confused. But shortly after, you will realize something profound. You will realize just how much mental space, how much quiet clarity you get back when you stop carrying the heavy, dirty water of other people's unnecessary drama. Your mind becomes your own again. Once you clear out that noise, once you stop the gossip and take back your remote control, you might notice something very unfamiliar. You might notice silence. And in that quiet space, left alone with your own thoughts, you will come face to face with the fourth thing you must absolutely stop doing. You have to stop treating the present moment like a waiting room. How often do you catch yourself saying things like, "I will finally be happy when I get that promotion. Life will be good when I finally lose this weight. I just need to get through this difficult week, and then this weekend I can finally relax and be myself." Look at the pattern. We spend our entire lives leaning forward. We live mentally in a future that does not exist yet. We treat today, this very moment, this Tuesday afternoon, this mundane car ride, this rainy morning, like a boring, uncomfortable waiting room that we just have to sit in until our real life finally begins. We wish away our days, hoping to arrive at some magical destination where everything is perfect. But the future is a ghost. It never arrives. When you get the promotion, you will just worry about the next promotion. When you reach the weekend, you will spend Sunday night dreading Monday morning. The brilliant 19th century philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche understood this tragedy of the human mind. He introduced a powerful concept called amor fati, which translates from Latin to a love of one's fate. He challenged people with a terrifying but beautiful thought experiment. He asked, "What if a demon came to you in the night and told you that you had to live this exact life with all its pains, its totally mundane, boring moments, and its joys over and over again for all eternity? Could you love it? Could you embrace it?" When you treat today like a waiting room, you are deeply disrespecting your own life. You are taking the only thing you actually possess in this universe, the present second, and you are throwing it in the trash. High-frequency living is not about constantly visualizing and manifesting a flawless, stress-free future. It is about bringing total, immersive, uncompromising attention to right now. Try it today. When you wash the dishes, do not think about the emails you have to send. Just wash the dishes. Feel the temperature of the warm water on your hands. Smell the soap. Notice the sound of the plates. When you listen to a friend talk, actually listen to the tone of their voice. Stop planning what clever thing you are going to say next. When you stop rejecting the present moment because it is boring or difficult, the friction in your mind dissolves. You stop fighting time, and suddenly the most ordinary life feels incredibly rich, deep, and deeply fulfilling, exactly as it is. You realize that the waiting room was actually the main event all along. Now we arrive at the final point. The hidden leak I mentioned at the very beginning of this journey. This is the trap that catches the most dedicated, well-meaning people on the path of self-improvement. It is the ultimate illusion. You must stop trying to protect your energy by avoiding life. If you spend any time in the modern wellness or self-improvement world, you will notice a very dangerous trend. People start trying to heal themselves, and suddenly everything in the world becomes a threat. Everything becomes toxic. You hear people saying, "I can't go to that family dinner. It's bad for my energy. I can't listen to my friend talk about her bad day. I'm protecting my peace. I can't watch the news. I can't go to that crowded place. I can't take on that new challenging project because it might lower my vibration." Step by step, they build a massive fortress around themselves. They retreat into a perfectly controlled, heavily guarded little bubble. They sit alone in a quiet room, believing they have reached a state of high vibration because nothing is currently bothering them. But I want you to look at the psychological reality of this. A perfectly sterile environment does not make you strong. It makes you incredibly fragile. Think about the human body. If you completely isolate yourself from every single germ, your immune system goes to sleep. It forgets how to fight. And the moment you finally step outside, the smallest, weakest cold virus will completely destroy you. Your emotional and spiritual energy works in the exact same way. If you isolate yourself from every difficult conversation, every slightly annoying person, and every challenging, messy situation, you are not raising your vibration. You are just shrinking your life. You are becoming spiritually allergic to the real world. You are becoming so fragile that a single sideways glance from a stranger can ruin your entire week. True resilience, true high vibration, is like a highly trained, robust immune system. It means you can walk directly into a messy, loud, complicated room filled with deeply flawed people, and you can remain completely centered. You don't need to tightly control the environment around you because you have finally mastered the environment within you. You are not a delicate vase that shatters at the slightest touch. You are a fire. A gentle breeze will blow out a fragile candle, but a strong wind only fuels a forest fire. You do not raise your vibration by building a fortress to keep the dark out. You raise it by realizing you were the light all along, fully capable of illuminating whatever dark room you choose to walk into. Stop hiding. Stop protecting your energy, and start letting your energy protect you. If this shift in perspective resonated with you today, and you felt something click into place, then the next step you take is absolutely crucial. Earlier, we briefly touched on the profound idea of the shadow, those dark, hidden, rejected parts of yourself that hold massive amounts of your trapped, wasted energy. If you want to know exactly how to stop fighting yourself, how to pull that beach ball out of the water, how to integrate that darkness, and how to use it to become completely and utterly unbothered by the chaos of the world, you need to watch the video on your screen right now about shadow work. It will not just give you theory, it will give you the exact, simple, practical steps to unlock the quiet power you have been hiding from your entire life. Click the video and I will see you there.